and welcome. My name's Rebecca Eastwood, and I'm joined by CTI faculty Megan Jo Wilson. For 20 years, Megan Jo has been coaching women to embrace visibility and share their innate wisdom and magic without apology. Her experiential leadership course, Rockstar Camp, puts women in the spotlight, quite literally, to sing with a live band and audience in beautiful Portland, Maine. I so want to go. She has
Come.
She's worked as a master coach with spiritual teacher and presidential candidate Marianne Williamson, and is a regular co-conspirator with feminist icon and author Regina Thomashower, aka Mama Gina. She's the author of the best-selling business books for women, Who the F Am I to Be a Coach, and No More Playing Small. Welcome, Megan Jo.
Thank you, Rebecca, for that intro and for everything you have done to put together these 2 days of learning community at $0. You are a gift.
Thank you. Now, I am going to leave you to do your session, but I wanted to just design with everyone. We're going to do a Q&A with Megan Jo at the end, and I'll be back to do that. So if you can put all your questions in the Q&A box, keep your chat within the chat section. So when I come back, I'll be able to field those to Megan. Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thanks to Laura and Vibhuti and Tal and everyone. This is beautiful. John Walsh from Cape Elizabeth is here. I'm in Cape Elizabeth, Maine. Hi, John. Okay, I have to tell you all, it's so good to be here and so good to be in community with coachy folks. Okay, this is good. This is what I wanted. I needed your comments to let me know where you are and that you're here. I have to admit, it's a little odd to be unable to see you and watch how you're responding. Hello, hello. We have Ottawa in the house, California in the house, San Rafael, Santa Fe, London, Boston, Cambridge, Arizona, San Francisco, Honolulu, Ireland. Wow. Netherlands, Kyoto. This is beautiful. Mexico, the wilds of Connecticut. Welcome, 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 all of you. As you are, who you are, all of it is welcome here. It is so good to be with other coaches, we who listen, we who see possibility, we who see the magnificence of others, we who vision with others. We are the modern priests and priestesses, it is my firm belief. And we know that we are here at this extraordinary moment in human history for a reason. Yes. And that doesn't mean we don't have our own shit. Hi, honey. This is my daughter Isa coming up to say hi. So, okay, great. Have fun. So my daughter knows, and I want you to know, if you don't already, that I, dress like I live on a runway. I belong to a church, and I swear like a truck driver. And if any of that inspires you or offends you, that's actually a very, very good thing. And we're going to get into why that's a good thing later. But let's arrive together with some intention. Whether you've been on these calls for 2 days or just arriving, take a deep breath and give your body a little stretch. A lot of my work is super somatic, and my teaching is really improvisational and experiential. So I really want you to get into your body. And although we can't see each other, I just want to take a moment of intention to connect to each other across space and time, because we are truly showing up from all corners of the planet. And it is my prayer that this time together will be inspiring, enlightening, connecting, practical, useful, and will help you to play in this life in a way that feels totally aligned with what matters to you and to your family, your community, your country, your world. Just set any intentions you have for yourself, feeling that you are so not alone in this work and in this walk. And so it is. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. Um, Before we do, I am going to be asking you lots of questions. As I said, I'm going to be, I love how you're already like fingers ready to chat. So you're going to need fingers ready to chat. And it would be great if you have some paper and pen, something to write with, because I'm going to be giving you some exercises and homework and really practical things to bring into your life, your work, your mission, and maybe even with your clients, right? That would be cool. You ready? Put yes in the chat so I know you're ready. Yes. Okay, let's go. Okay, that feels so good. Thank you so much for letting me know you're here and ready. Okay, so you're a coach. I'm a coach. We love big, powerful questions. The title of this experiment we're going into together is No More Playing Small. It's also the title of one of my books. So we're going to start with the most important question of all. What does it mean to play big? Pop it in the chat. Whatever comes through for you in this moment, what does it mean to play big? If we're not playing small, we're playing big. So what does that mean? Okay, great. Great, 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 great. And you can all see some of these responses. Make a big goal, trust myself and take risks, fearlessness, live out loud, step into courage, at full potential, do the scary thing. So big it scares you. Okay, we've got a scared in the mix, stretchy, bold, bright, aligned, honoring yourself, put myself out there. Okay, can you see the themes? This is what's so great about being in community, because you can see that you're not alone. Oh, this is good. Experiment, spend money, be authentic, takes your breath away, take risks, take risks. So there's some themes popping up. Get in big clients, center of the court, living full potential. Okay, this is great. This is great. This is great. Now, I'm going to add, oh, they're coming through hot. Right with my own voice. Okay, these are beautiful. Some of them you notice are quite broad. A few of them are starting to get specific, using my voice, enrolling clients, action, vulnerability, charge what the big boys charge and feel entitled to it. Amen, Constance Blackwood. Take imperfect actions. Y'all are so good. You got this. So I love what you're saying. I'm not surprised by what you're saying. And I want your like first homework assignment is to ask this question to yourself on the regular. Because I was watching Charles Suwa Singh's recorded video about context in coaching. Context really does matter. And we have saboteurs. We've been talking about saboteurs for 2 days. The inner critic, the voices of doubt, the negative ego, whatever you want to call it. These voices are true for most of us. Most of us live with saboteurs. And I want to just remind you that our culture plays a big part in this, right? We live in a patriarchal, puritanical, racist, sensationalist, capitalist, often misogynist world culture. Okay. And in the entrepreneur world, and sometimes in the world of coaching, that culture is really like hyper focused on productivity, profit, and popularity. So like scale is the most important. Get the most followers is the most important. Now, I love, like Agnes is saying, being the stupidest person in the room on purpose. Like that's playing big for me. Like, yeah, queen. And you have to know this question for yourself if you're going to play big, right? Like, what the fuck does that even mean to you? And I can say for me, it's really changed over time. Like when I was 18, I wanted to sing at the dive bar that had a stage that was this high off the ground as soon as I was 21 and could get in there. And then I did that for a couple of years. And then I was like, ooh, I want to get on the Big Easy stage, because that stage is like 3 feet off the ground. And then, when I was in my 30s, I was like, oh, I want to sing at the State Theater where there's like a barricade and, security people. And your playing big will expand or shift. Like Selena saying, do nothing for an hour each day. That's my version of playing big. And that's a radical act. To do nothing for an hour each day is a radical act in a patriarchal capitalist culture. So, when I wrote my first book, like my playing big was really about expanding my audience, expanding my revenue, expanding my impact. And it still very much is. But like my version, I would say now, 6 or 7 years later, is much more about courageous, honest conversations with the people I'm close to in my community, locally, my clients, being brave, being true to myself, speaking the truth, being honest. It has a very different flavor. Okay. So that's your first homework. What does playing big mean to me? And you'll note if you do this every morning for a month, let's say, you'll get different images, downloads, and ideas. And you might even say, like, if I played big today, what would that look like today? Because coaches, we love to do the vision in 10 years. Today, what would playing big look like today? That's a great one to play with. Okay. So now it's like, what does playing big look like for you? You all knew immediately. So now, just again in community, we're going to do full transparency, because that's what coaches love to do, and put in the chat what gets in the way of me playing big. According to me, if I know what it is, why don't I live it every day? Just in your own words, self-doubt, judgment, what other people think, put it in, fear, hesitation, me, saboteurs. What stops you from playing big? Avoider, fear of falling short, resources, lethargy, risk, perfectionism, work culture, safety, and quotes. Okay, this is great. Just enjoy the chat zone, my friends. And just take it in and marinate in the deep relief that comes with, like, oh, right, I'm not the only one who has these fears. Oh, I love this, Amy. Fear of wild success. Will I exhaust myself? That's one of mine. Isolation, too much attention. So many others already doing it. Okay. Isn't it good to see that you are so not alone in all the fascinating ways that we are trained and conditioned to hold ourselves back, um, or hold ourselves back, context, for our own safety or sense of well-being, or hold ourselves back, right, or play small because of a trauma we've experienced or a message we inherited, right? And yet, each and every one of you, even though I can't see you, I know you are already doing so much phenomenal work in the world and you have so much to give. Like, is the world hungry for what you have to give right now? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So here's what I'm going to do. Thank you for sharing all of that. I'm going to walk through like 5 of my favorite practices, exercises that I use to keep me playing big. Yeah. Lots of small traumas are a very big deal. Yeah. This is the stuff that stays in our bodies. So we have to find ways to work through it and practice. So I'm going to give you some exercises and practices. All of these I use. None of these are practices that we train at Coactive Training Institute, and all of those are fabulous. Just being able to spot a saboteur in another person is a gift in and of itself. But, for the truth is, when we are in the trance of the saboteur, we don't even know it's a saboteur, right? We don't even know we're having a living. It just feels like the truth. People are going to judge me. I'm going to become a workaholic. I don't know enough. I don't know how to stop this, right? So we need community. We need coaches. We need someone else to reflect to us. Oh, you're in that trance again. Okay. So in coaching, we do like parts work, we do visioning, we do mindset, affirmations, meditations. We name the saboteur. Like, I have a whole tarot deck of my saboteurs that I made. I have like a whole orchestra of saboteurs. So how I'm going to frame this is like what the common sort of thought obstacle is and some ways to bust through it. Okay. Then we're going to make sure we have time for Q&A because I want to talk to you. A whole orchestra. So as I'm teaching and talking, you'll be responding. And if something like really resonates with you, or you're like, oh, I love that, you're already doing it, please put it in the chat, like a concept or a quote, because that will help deepen your learning. And it actually helps everyone else on the call to get deep in their learning as well, right? It's almost like taking notes and sharing notes. So we're going to start with saboteur, obstacle, thought, fear. I'll be humiliated. Like, what if I fail? What if I humiliate myself? Okay, so just let's put in the chat like, yes, yes, I have that one sometimes. Yeah. Just call it a yes. Yes. I do too. What if I fail? Right. Hashtag me too. Right. Great. So, here's my first tip and exercise. It's really obvious, but it's life-changing. You cannot, my friends, we cannot and will not sustain playing big or disrupting the status quo without a community of like-minded comrades. And I bet that some of you have those people, and some of you have people who are like, what is this coaching thing? Like, I don't know what she's doing, but it's like a woo. A community of like-minded comrades, a community of people who will love, support, and hold you through all of it. Okay. The more specifically, I'm going to make this so specific for you. And I really do have this. I call it curating your tribe of 5. 5 humans. And I want you to write their names down. You don't have to put them in the chat unless you want to. 5 humans on your paper that you know, love, trust, that are intimate with your life. Tribe of 5. Thank you, Selena. And maybe you write down 10, but I literally want you to reach out to them this week and say something like, here's the thing. I'm up to some big, scary stuff. Some days it feels amazing. Other days I feel like a loser who has no idea what she's doing. And I would love it if I could like reach out to you when I have these, I call them like white flag moments, so that you can remind me why I'm doing this, who I am, and sort of snap me out of my saboteur trance. Now, if you have a coach, great, put your coach's name down. But I like to have, it's almost like designing the people that would be in your like mental, spiritual, emotional life raft. Okay. So for me, I've got Matt, I've got Libby, I've got Rihanna, I've got Sarah, I've got Eric. Now, the truth is, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I could reach out to and call if I need a little support. But these 5, I've actually designed with them. I'm going to reach out to you when I start to waver, and you can do the same for me, with me at any time. So like my friend Sarah, who's also a singer, will call me like before a show and go, oh my God, I don't know what I'm wearing. I mean, her voice is unbelievable, like perfection. I can't believe what I'm wearing. Why am I doing this? I'm so tired. Do I like singing, MJ? Like, do I even like singing? And I'll say, Sarah, you love singing. You love singing. It's always the anticipation part that you don't like. As soon as you start singing, it's going to flow right through you. And she's okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Right. If I'm going into a difficult conversation with a friend, or if I just did this morning with my girl, Rihanna, I'm going to have a conversation that might be difficult. I can do that. Right. She's like, you're the queen of doing that. Okay. Have a coach. Yes. But community is where it's at. The reason I can get women, untrained singers on stage to sing with a live band and audience is community. It's actually community, because they know no matter what happens, their sisterhood is going to be there cheering them on and will catch her when she gets off stage and will support her the day after, right? The day after is really the worst. Like Rebecca and I were talking about that before this webinar. Our neurology is wired to notice what's not working, what went wrong, like for our survival. And so this is a really good discipline to help your brain when it's braining. Help me remember, okay? Tribe of 5. You're going to call them and say, would you be willing to do this? Like when I start to get wobbly, I'll reach out to you. You can do the same. And they'll be great for some other exercises I'm going to give you too. Can I get a yes? Put yes in the comments if you are going to go find your tribe of 5. Yes. Now think of what a gift this will be for them. This will be such a gift for them. Okay, so write down their names, and you can even, and when we don't, yeah, I think I even have, oh, I do. Look, I even have a white flag in my desk. Like sometimes I'll just send a video like this, like, help. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, I also have my, here's one of my Saboteur tarot cards, the Entertainer. The entertainer, put on a mask, pretend everything's okay. Okay. I'll save my other ones for later. Okay. What about the saboteur? I saw this one in the chat before. I will be seen as a fraud, imposter syndrome. I am a fraud. Put yes in the chat if that one can get you. Ooh, imposter syndrome. They're going to find out that I'm not really a good coach. Especially if I start marketing myself. Oh boy, if I start marketing myself, they're going to see me. So I'm going to assume that none of you are, wanting to be frauds or imposters or con people that want to con people out of money. No, you're here because you genuinely want to have an impact. So I have it's like the good and the bad news. But I say this all the time. If you've been to any of my other workshops, you ready? No one's paying that much attention. No one's paying that much attention. Right, Danielle? Danielle knows. You will feel, but your brain will brain. Lavinia, thank you. What does that mean? When I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women who want to put themselves out there and share their wisdom and share their opinion. And it's like, oh my God, I'm an imposter. They're going to see me. I'm going to write this post and they're going to analyze it. And you're going to feel like you're naked in Times Square. Like everyone's analyzing my naked body in Times Square. I bet literally if you stood naked in Times Square, like most people would just walk past you. Because they're in their own stuff. They're in their own drama. They're looking at the signs in Times Square. They're thinking about lunch. What kind of ice cream should I get? Where's the hotel? Who's that naked lady? I don't know. So it's good news in that you can really experiment a lot and know that the world will keep spinning. The bad news is to get someone's attention, you really got to put yourself out there a lot, like consistently, and offer. I listened to Sue's workshop about business building. It's like you want to let people know who you are and what you do again and again and again and again and again. I have so many stories about this, and maybe I'll fit it in Q&A, but I want to make sure you get this practice. First of all, typically when a client comes to me and says, I'm worried about what everyone will think, I will say, who's the one person you're worried about? Because usually it's like one person. Myself, yeah. But for some of you, if you might use the language like, I'm afraid of what everyone will think. Usually it's like, who's the one person, like a former boss, right? Like I had a client who's a pharmacist and she is building a coaching business. And she's like, I don't want my former pharmacist boss to think I'm crazy for starting a coaching business for divorcing moms. And I was like, okay, I get it. And do you really care what your former boss thinks about what you're doing? And he's probably not paying attention. Maybe it's your mother-in-law or some former friend or a close friend, right? So identify if it's one person. And then I want you to remember all the successes and victories. This is going to be a theme throughout. It's, neuroplasticity. Your brain is always wired to notice what's not working, what you did wrong. So women in particular get I call it success amnesia. Like, I guarantee, like, if I might bring some of you on here to talk, like, well, what have you done? Like, I haven't really done anything. And then I'd say, no, but really tell me some of the things you've done that are amazing. And it'd be like, boom, boom. Well, I did raise 4 kids, and then I did like write a book, and then I also worked here, and then I moved to this country. So to loosen the grip of imposter syndrome, you want to show your brain the evidence of where you are not an imposter. Okay, so like Zena, Agnes, anyone else, like just throw some successes in the chat. Like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Give your brain some, yeah, find those receipts, Kayla. Love that metaphor. Find those receipts. Let your brain see. Just write something. I enrolled 1 client in my life. I completed a coach training. I have a degree in communications. I rode my bike across the US. I wrote a book. Yes, I'm a recovering addict. Yes, I got sober. I traveled quite a lot. Yes. Okay, now look at this. I divorced after 42 years. I can succeed. I succeed. Oh, yes, I can succeed. I am not a fraud. Okay. So this is a really critical practice. Read it, write it. You know, the other great thing to do that's coming through now, I had a coach who I was really in fraud factor. Let's try this one. And she had me name, like, what's the impact you have on your clients? Like, even if you've just had a practice client, put some of that in the chat. Like, I helped it doesn't have to be a specific result. I listened to my client. I care about my clients. I make time for my clients. I practice with my clients. I helped my client leave a toxic relationship. I walked with my client. My client moved across the country, made a meaningful career change. Yeah. Put some coach related successes, clienting related, mentoring. I mean, these are incredible. I listened deeply to someone. I had someone feel more brave. I just went to my client's wedding in Mexico. Yep. So if you start to feel like an imposter, give your brain some evidence and literally write it down on paper and read it again and again and again and again. I have a friend, Kate, who writes down every beautiful thing that people say to her. It's like, that's so genius. She has a little notebook, and if someone says like, wow, Kate, you're just so beautiful, she writes it down. A kind words folder, Kirsten. Yes. Okay. All right. Who has the saboteur? We're going to do 3 more. Who has one that can show up like, I don't want to offend anyone, or I'm afraid I'll hurt someone's feelings? Anyone have that one? Put yes in the chat. Oh, yes. Oh. I don't want to offend anyone. This was really where I was at for a very long time in my leadership. Yeah, it's like a people pleaser thing a lot of times, or I just don't like it. I don't want to create conflict. Okay, now let's see. Just like pin that for a sec. Great, you're not alone. Isn't it so nice to know you're not alone? Think of a famous leader who has inspired you and put their name in the chat. Like a inspiring leader, alive, dead. Gandhi, Oprah, Michelle, RBG, Michelle, Gandhi. Right now it's you. Renee, John Maxwell, Nelson Mandela, Hillary Clinton, Jane Goodall, Megan Joe, Melinda Gates. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's just look at this list of impactful people. I'm just giving your brain just yummy, easy things to chew on. Did these leaders offend anyone? Yes. Yes. Of course they did. Kermit the Frog, I don't know, but Jim Henson certainly did. He's one of my heroes, actually. Jim Henson was a crazy genius. So I don't know if offend is the right language. So I'm like pushing you a little bit to be willing to offend people, to disrupt. Thank you for that, Kirsten. My friend Eric and I teach leadership together, and disruption is really important right now, y'all. So if you're not like rattling anyone's cages, like having someone disagree with you is an amazing sign that you're onto something good. An amazing sign that you're onto something good. If you're not, if no one is, if no one's like not liking you, then you're watering down your leadership. Being nice and pleasing everyone is not leadership. You heard I worked with Marianne Williamson. She would say all the time, sometimes love says no. Yeah, sometimes love says no. I put fuck in my first book title very much on purpose. Very much on purpose. And there's a review on Amazon from someone that I printed and framed because he says like, oh, that's so crass and you don't have to be so foul with your language. And I was like, I did it. And for that one guy who was offended, I can tell you, I get dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of clients and readers who say, I loved the title of your book. It just cracked me up. I think that all the time. Who the fuck am I to be a coach? How did you know I think that? Do you read my journal? Also, I just love that, like, you're really reverent, but you also swear. And like, me too, like, let's just be real with each other. Sometimes I throw an F bomb around. And your book title signaled to me that, like, I'm your people. Not all people are going to be your people. So the practice here is to be more you so that you don't have to lie and you don't have to mask up. You just get to be you so that your people can find you, so that your right people can find you, because your clients are going to want you. Not just me, not me. They're going to want you for being you. But first, they have to know like what you believe, what you stand for, what you offer, the results that you get in your niche. Sue talked about that, and my books talk about that, an ideal client. But it's also like, what do you believe? What do you stand for? And to be willing to share that. So the exercise practice here is to make a list of I believe statements. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is great. By being unreasonable. Yeah, be more you. So your people come in. Thank you for all these notes. They're really helpful. So let's just put some in the chat, like, but on your piece of paper, that's another homework. Like, make a list of I believe statements that are I aim for 100. I believe I can do anything I want to. Okay, that's a bold statement, Lindsay. Fabulous. You've heard all kinds of my I believes. I've been sharing them through here. I believe curse words can be really beautiful and useful sometimes. I believe that evil is real. I believe that love says no sometimes. I believe that you should share what you believe, right? You can hear all kinds of my I believes. So, such a good practice for your messaging, for what you want to share in the world. And it's like, you don't even have to put I believe, just take the I believe out when you're writing your posts and stuff and just say it. And write the ones that make you sweat a little bit. Ooh, I know this is going to piss some people off. It's okay to like It's okay to rattle the cage a little bit, my loves. I believe I'm not the right coach for everybody, right? How great would it be to say that if you haven't already? I might not be the right coach for you, but here's who I am a coach for. Really good, really beautiful. Okay, you got that homework locked and loaded. Yeah. I believe I'm not perfect. I believe people aren't perfect. Speaking of Carlos, thank you. Who has the imperfection or no, the perfectionist saboteur? Put yes in the chat. Like, I'm not good enough yet. It has to be perfect. I'll do it as soon as it's perfect. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. I have them all. Well bragged. Beautiful. Me too. My perfection saboteur is not perfect. Perfectionism, it really is a learned condition. It's like, you know, you don't meet little kids who are like, I can't draw. I don't know how to dance and sing. No, we came into this world just like feeling and expressing and dancing and trying stuff and failing. And we were just like, no big deal. So our culture really fucks us up with this one. And it's, my very strong opinion, it's such a brilliant strategy for keeping people like us quiet. Has to be perfect. Has to be perfect. You have to know everything. You have to know everything. So and then I'll just wait and I'll wait and I'll wait and I'll edit and I'll edit and I'll polish and I'll polish and I'll wait and I'll procrastinate because I don't want to mess up, because that would be the worst thing. You see it, and I see it in just every area across the board. If every one of you, hint, this is your homework, put out some of your wisdom imperfectly, according to your own standards, by the way, because what is perfect anyway? But just put some stuff out there that you believe in. You'll get a response. You'll get a beautiful response. You'll get a beautiful response. Remember, no one's paying that much attention. I mean, if you're at Brene Brown level, like, yeah, some people are going to analyze the shit you put on Instagram. But none of us are at Brene Brown level, am I right? Or else we wouldn't be here. So, like, give yourself some grace. You probably have a high value for like high quality work. And that's a part of it too. Like, I want to do good work in the world, but know where you want to do like high quality work and where it can be good enough. Where can I do like good enough? Where can I just practice and kind of suck at it? It's weird. Like, marketing takes practice. Putting yourself out there takes practice. And like everything else, like learning the piano or how to make a flambe. Flambe? Don't know where that came from. So the practice here, and this is one where I'd really need to I'm going to come knock on your door, because you probably won't do this one, but I guarantee it will help your perfectionism saboteur. It's like, set a timer for time minutes, set a timer for 10 minutes, and just go do some visible action imperfectly. A post about your work, 10 minutes, go live for 10 minutes, make a call, share your work. It's got to be visible though, because that's what triggers you. That's what triggers your imposter. So visible action, 10 minutes or less. If you do that every day for a month, you will get leads and you will get clients. You will. You just will, because no one can hire you if they can't see you. You have to practice. It's a muscle to develop. It's unlearning perfectionism. And don't compare yourself to anyone else. You'd be in your lane at your level and just experiment. Okay? Put yes in the chat if you're willing to do this. I have one more for you. Yep. And like tag me, be like, Megan Jo Wilson told me to do my imperfect post. Here it is. Email me. I'll put my email in the chat. Okay, here's the last practice. It's really simple, and then we're going to do Q&A. It's sort of similar to the success amnesia thing, and I got this practice that I really do every day. And I learned it from Regina Thomashower, Mama Gina, who Rebecca mentioned in my intro. If you don't know her work, check it out, Mama Gina. She has a practice we just call bragging. And if you know me at all, you know, like when I go to like dinner parties and I'm bored, I'm also an introvert. So I have to like find ways to create engagement. I'll have people brag, or at Christmas or holidays or soccer games. I'll be like, let's brag, because most of us engage through complaining and sort of, tearing ourselves apart. So a little context around brag, it's not arrogance. None of you could be arrogant if you tried. It's acknowledging your amazingness. It starts with the words, I brag. Yes, Britta, I brag. I'm an introvert. It's like anything can be a brag. I really do brag that. There's no brag too big or too small. Okay. So start putting some brags in the chat. Anything goes. Britta, give me a brag. I brag in the chat. Everybody play. I brag. And it could be from today. It could be from 10 years ago. It could be like, I brag, I flossed this morning. Woohoo! I brag, I wrote a post today and ran around the block. I brag, I'm sexy. Yes. I brag, I'm very sensitive. Oh, I love that brag. I brag, I taught a great yoga class. Look at this. I brag, I'm loving my body right now, Lexa. I brag, I'm feeling 25. I'm like, okay. You can see that brags make me very happy. I brag, I get things done. So isn't this so satisfying? Now, keep them coming, but listen to me at the same time. Coffee guru, yes, John. It's very important to brag in community with a witness. You can do it in a journal. That counts. Yes, Felipa. And having a witness is really amazing. And you want to train your witness to respond with nothing else except, so well bragged. That's amazing. You're intuitive. You're resting a lot. Lydia, well bragged. I brag. I love rain. You love people well bragged. If you do this practice, so simple. And have your clients do it too. I start almost every one-on-one client session I have with a dance break and brags. And then I'm like, how'd your homework go? What are we looking at today? Because I want my women to be relentlessly in self-approval. Relentless in self-approval, because we are so good at disapproving of ourselves. You brag. And look at it. You guys just want to keep, once they get going, isn't it fun? And tell me in the chat, and then we're going to do Q&A, I promise, what it's like to witness and share these brags. Loving it. Like, you can feel, if you're a CTI person, you're like, level 3, baby. I can't even see you, and I can feel it's fun. It's inspiring. And it's intimate. It's like trusting. Nice energy. I brag, I can belly dance perfectly. Yes. It's lifting. You'll get to know so much about people. So you could bring this to your tribe of 5 and say, let's brag. Yeah, we can go over. I'll stay here all night. I love this stuff. With your tribe of 5, you could say, let's share, you could have like a WhatsApp group and brag every day. Or you could just pick a partner, maybe someone on this call. You're like, private message them like, you seem cool. You want to do brags back and forth? Everyone can brag. My 11-year-old who came up here and you saw it, we brag on the way to school. Give me a brag. Does she roll her eyes sometimes at me? Yeah. And she knows how to brag. She knows how to acknowledge herself. And sometimes it's like, I brag, I'm cool, you know? But then, you know what? Like yesterday after school, we were driving along and she said, I did like, I did a mediation conversation today with two friends who were fighting because she's like a peacekeeper at her school. So I did a mediation thing today and I brag I made them laugh. I brag I made them laugh. Like it's just part of her language now. After not being a bragger. So Maria, former not bragger, so liberating. It's like that quote, you know, that a lot of this is a very simplified version of that Marianne Williamson quote. Who are you not to be magnificent, brilliant, talented? That's why you're here. It's more, we resist our light more than our darkness. It's not arrogant. There's nothing arrogant. None of you are saying, I'm better than you. Look back. Not one of you said, I'm the best coach in here. No, just acknowledge your magnificence. It's really helpful. Okay. So for any of you that have that, I don't have enough experience. I don't have what it takes. I'm not as charismatic as, Martin Luther King Jr. So I probably shouldn't just do anything. Go brag, go brag, go brag, go brag. Every day, every day. Okay. In service of X. Exactly, Mom. Okay. I'm going to quick review and then Rebecca, you want to come out? We'll do some Q&A.
I brag that I'm 50 and I feel great.
Oh my God. Well, okay, everybody say, well, brag, clap, 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 emoji. That's amazing brag. It really gives me life. I just want to review the exercises real quick and then we'll do Q&A. We are going to do our tribe of 5, right? We've got our community. We've got our success list of successes we've had. It's kind of a form of bragging, right? Just giving your brain some real stuff so you don't get success amnesia. You're going to do your I believe statements. And you're going to do 10 minutes or less of imperfect visible action and then go brag about it. Brag, 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 brag. You can find me on social, send me an email. I want to hear all your brags all the time. Okay. Do we have questions in the...
We have a couple of questions and please start putting your questions in for us. Megan Jo, do you have any recommendations for productive use of humor in your coaching practice?
Oh, I love this.
Since I started focusing on building my coaching practice full-time in September, use of humor is at an all-time low. In the off chance I use it, almost always feels like a distraction or defense mechanism. And that's from Andrea.
That is such an amazing question. Okay, I want to make this go away. I want more context, of course, but it's so interesting that you ask that. You can tell that humor is a value of mine, I'm sure. I'm obsessed with comedy. I watch comedy. I watch stand-up comics. That would really scare, like that would be my version of Rockstar Camp, doing like stand-up comedy. But here's the thing, neurologically speaking, laughing actually like lubricates learning. It creates dopamine. It creates in the pharmacy of your body like aliveness and receptivity. And, you don't want it has to be within context. It's such an intuitive thing, right? It's like you couldn't have I don't know. And now I'm like wanting to hear your take on it, Rebecca, but it's like, there's no rule book here. Like if they say this, then say something funny. So you got to know how to read who you're working with. You could also design it with them. I design with my clients. Well, most of them kind of know, like, I'm irreverent. I love to laugh. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do dance breaks. Um, I'm like, I love to complain. Like, I actually really do. I'm very fun to complain with. I love to like make fun of myself and make fun. So, but there's a time and space for it. What I will say is, if your coaching is just like really one note, if it's always serious and sacred and very deep, like, yes, there's absolutely time and space for that. And you want to have like the full range of all the keys that you can play. So it can be outrageous, it can be playful, it can be naughty, it can be reverent, it can be serious, it can be weepy, it can be, like that's what my offering is. But I don't have a if this then that. It's like intuition. I hope that's helpful, Andrea. And if let me know in the chat. And if you want to talk more about that, I love that question. It's a really interesting one. Yeah. Okay.
So we have another one here that says, may I ask how long it took you to get this confident as you are in coaching? You're great. I love your energy.
Thank you. This is the real truth. It's really embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you. I have been coaching for 20 years, and after about like 11 years in, I was hired to teach coaching at CTI, this amazing organization. And if you've taken a CTI course, you know that in the course, we do demonstrations of coaching in front of the room. So I've been coaching for about 11 years. I've been teaching for a couple years. And I was co-leading with my friend, Deborah. And I did a demo in front of the class. And we wrapped up and everyone went to lunch. And Deborah came over and I said, I hope that was okay. I don't know, like, I don't know what I'm doing with this coaching thing. Okay, I've been coaching for 12 years. And she just said very nonchalantly, like, you should stop that, and kind of walked away. And there was something about the way she said it so nonchalant, like, stop doubting yourself. Like, you should really stop that. Let's go to lunch. And I was like, okay, I think I'll stop that. So the real answer is like 12 years, 13 years, until I decided to stop thinking I was a terrible coach. It's like I knew I was good, but and Rebecca and I again we're talking about, like, I knew I was good, but then the brain starts braining. I could have said this and I should have done that and it could have been better. And did I even give them any value? Da, 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 da. And of course, the great paradox. These are my closing words. The great paradox is the more concerned you are with being a great coach, the less powerful your coaching will be, because you're in level one ego. I want to look good. I want to have a breakthrough. When you're in that space, you are not over there with your client. You are not really connected. You are not really doing whatever it takes. You are not really willing to be fired for the sake of what they say they want. It's not about you. It's not about you. So lighten up, give yourself some grace. And I'll tell Deborah words to all of you. Just stop that. Just stop thinking, I'm not confident. Just see what happens. I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm a good coach. I know what I'm doing. See what happens. Great way to wrap the day. Susanna, Britta, I loved all your, Andrew wants me to do stand up soon. That's my play big challenge. What a delight, and so good to be in community. Anything else you need to say, Rebecca? You did it.
We did it. We did it. And you are amazing. We had an amazing session and so much engagement in the chat. So much love for you, Megan Jo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Likewise. I'll just say very quickly, again, you all know how to find me. They'll get links to resources and websites. There's all kinds of stuff to support you in your work. My books are free, like you can download them for free. There's free resources, sales resources. Your wish is my command.
Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. Have a good night, everybody.